Hi everyone, and welcome to the Green Program / Boise State University info session. My name is Courtney from the Green Program, and I am co-hosting this info session with Boise State student and Green Ambassador Carmen Penzler. Firstly, I just wanted to let you all know, if in case you're not familiar with Zoom, that at the bottom of your screen there is actually a toolbar with the chat function. So in that chat function, if you're able to click it, definitely, introduce yourself into the chat with your name, your major, and what interests you in the Green Program. Also, too, throughout the info session, you can also put in any questions that you may have, and then we will just talk about it at the end of the info session. So now we're going to kick things off with our intro video. As a disclaimer, the actual audio may not work, but it's just background music. It's still a really great video. So let's get started. Oh. Very cool. So thank you guys and welcome back. If you are just joining us also, as I mentioned earlier, at the bottom of your screen in the toolbar, you should be able to see that chat function. And so you can use that chat function to then introduce yourself and then also input any questions that you may have. So welcome back. My name is Courtney, and I am the Assistant Director of Global Enrollment at the Green Program. So essentially, for my position and what I do, I help assist participants interested in the Green Program by figuring out which programs work best for you for your professional and your personal goals. I also help with resources and also outreach to spread the word about the Green Program. So let's connect. You can connect with me through my email, through LinkedIn, and also my phone number. Throwing it over to Carmen.
Hello, my name is Carmen Penzler. I'm currently a senior majoring in civil engineering at Boise State, and I traveled with the Green Program not last summer, but the one before that in 2019. I went to Cusco, Peru to learn more about wastewater treatment.
Thank you, Carmen. So as we go in, I'm going to explain to you guys a little bit more about the Green Program. So the Green Program was founded in 2009 by our founder, Melissa Lee. And so you can see her there in the center with the big smile. But essentially, when Melissa went to school herself, she was in a huge lecture hall full of people, and she was having a hard time really learning that way. That's not just a style that she is able to do. So fast forward to spring break, her and a couple of friends went to Costa Rica. And then on that Costa Rica trip, they actually stumbled across a wind turbine farm. And so they, were able to bypass security, went up to the door, knocked on the door, and actually asked if they could have a tour. And then after, asking many times, they were actually able to get that tour. They went in, they put on the gear, they had the hard hat, they touched some of the different machinery, and they got this one-on-one experience where they were really engaging in this facility. And that's when it kind of clicked, this is how people learn, this is how people should experience these kinds of things. And that's essentially how the Green Program was born. Throwing it to Carmen.
So one of the main things that the Green Program does is that they're short-term programs abroad focus on sustainable development. And they have many different skills that you can gain from this program, such as cultural experience. You definitely get to learn more about the different environmental issues around the world. So meeting new people and gaining just active learning skills. One of the things that really attracted me to this program was their 10-day promise. I had an internship during the fall through spring of 2019 and is going to extend over to the summer. And I didn't really want to block out a full month of traveling. So it was really nice that they had that short-term experience, and then I could get not too much days of work off.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carmen. And so for the Green Program, what our mission is, so our mission is to educate and empower future sustainability leaders through innovative models of experiential education, travel, and adventure. So Carmen, how have you been empowered as a sustainability leader?
Yeah, so a lot of the different people that go onto the program, they're all super passionate about the environment, and they all share the same kind of desire to be more sustainable and live more environmentally friendly. So just being around those type of people really motivated me to learn more about what I can do to preserve the earth. And it was just inspiring to be around with so many accomplished students as well.
Thank you so much, Carmen. And so for these Green Program models, education models, what they look like, you can see in these little stacks here. But firstly, our programs are short term, so they're at 8 to 10 days during your winter, spring, and summer break. You can also gain a course credit for these programs through the in-country university, and then also talk to your home country or your home university about leveraging those credits. So you can talk to your advisor about leveraging those credits towards your actual major or also as an elective. In the second stack, so our programs are career focused and they do align with the SDGs, also known as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And so with this, you'll gain insider access to various facilities. You'll also complete a sustainable business model, also known as the Capstone Project. And then you'll also gain real world hands-on experience. And so for this also, there is this increased accessibility. And what this means is that these programs that we have at the Green Program are meant for you to not have to give up your job this semester or your internship or, to give up the credits that you need in order to graduate on time that go towards your major. You can do all of those things and have an abroad experience. Rather than, just having that abroad experience that lasts that whole semester. And then lastly would be that long-term impact. So once your program is then completed, you then gain full access into the alumni network. And so for the Green Alumni Network, it is a forever benefit where you gain full access to this professional development platform to interconnect with past participants. You'll also gain weekly newsletters about different job and internship openings. You'll get invites to different conferences, webinars, seminars. There's leadership opportunities, mentorship opportunities. There's also our alumni reunion and so many more. So Carmen, going to throw it to you. What attracted you to the Green Program?
I really liked when I was researching the different companies that the Green Program kind of partners with and has alumni in. I know some really big names like Nike, Boeing, and my personal favorite, Tesla. So it was definitely really amazing to see that they were collaborating with these different companies, and that once I was in the alumni network, that I could gain connections and just have those connections based on, again, like I said previously, a shared love and passion for the environment.
Thank you so much, Carmen. It's really awesome. So going into the program details themselves, firstly, for each of the Green programs, you are basically being inserted in each destination exactly where they're at in their sustainable development journey. And so for each program specifically, they do have this sub-main case study topic that you will go in depth more about. So the first one being Peru. Peru is more so starting out on their sustainable development journey, meaning that things are still being implemented. And so at this time, I'm going to throw it to Carmen to now talk about her experience in Peru.
Perfect. So in Peru, I was able to go to the city of Cusco, and there we got to visit one of the most polluted rivers in their city, which was incredibly impactful because they are realizing that they need to kind of clean up that river and find different ways to make the environment around the river more healthy for the community members. So that's what they're kind of focused on and what they were teaching us through the course that was with the partner university. It was based on the water resource management and having cleaner and healthier water. And then another field trip we went on was to the hydroelectric facility at Machu Picchu. So I got to go to Machu Picchu, which was incredible. It was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had. I almost cried. It was so beautiful, much better than all the photos you see. And then another field trip was the wastewater treatment facility plant in Cusco, which is the picture in like the bottom left corner. Seta Cusco, which is their treatment facility. That was really fun to go to because I had actually toured a treatment facility in the United States, and it was just really interesting to see the similarities and the differences between the treatment plants in the different countries. So that was incredibly informational. And then, of course, there's the fun stuff. We got to go ziplining and rafting, which was a lot of fun. It's definitely like a work hard, play hard kind of program. You get to go on the fun things too. And I came to realize that I'm actually not scared of too much like heights or anything because I was like ziplining over this giant like mountain side, and it was just probably thousand feet off the ground. So it was a lot of fun, and I realized that pushing myself out of my comfort zone really helped to see what I could take on. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That sounds awesome. Thank you so much, Carmen. Nextly would be our Fukushima Japan program. So for this program, it is a great destination and case study, more so in the middle of its sustainable development journey. So for this meeting with Fukushima Japan, they have made huge strides since the meltdown of Fukushima and the tsunami that happened, but they do have a long way to go in order to be 100% renewable and sustainable by 2030. So for this program, the case study topic focuses on disaster mitigation and nuclear to renewable transitions. And so for this, it is a 2-credit course from the National Institute of Technology, Fukushima College. And then on this program, you'll gain exclusive access into various facilities, including the nuclear power plant at Dayani, which is right next to Daiichi that actually had the meltdown. This program is also a very high cultural immersion program as well, with adventure activities. So you'll experience a traditional Japanese tea ceremony. You'll also go hiking. There's a day trip into Tokyo as well. And for this program, in all, it is a real hard hat hazmat suit type of experience. Nextly would be our Nepal program, which is also more so in the beginning stages of its sustainable development journey. For the Nepal program, the program topic is focused on microgrid systems for rural development and is a 3 graduate credit course. Now, you do not need to be a graduate student in order to go on this program. This program is open to undergrad students, graduate students, and professionals. And for this program also, so you'll take your classes at Kathmandu University, where you'll learn more about Nepal's specific sustainable development journey. You'll also gain more information about the mechanics behind the installation of those microgrid systems in preparation to going out and venturing into that local village to then work as a team and do the actual installations. Now, there's going to be professional engineers and construction workers there with you who have set up the framework prior to your arrival and will also assist and direct you in the installation process. For this program as well, it is a high adventure, high cultural immersion program. So you will participate in a homestay within the community. You'll go and do some adventurous hikes and like water rafting. You'll meditate in a local temple. And another really amazing thing is that when you do enter the village, they have this really huge welcome ceremony. And then you'll, get a chance to eat the food, engage in the community, dance, listen to music. It's really beautiful. And then last but not least is our Iceland program. So for our Iceland program, it is a really great representation of a more futuristic side of the sustainable development journey. Iceland already has so many wonderful things implemented. However, it's really looking at the unforeseen barriers that they have to overcome that you can't really compare to other countries. And so for the Iceland program, it does focus on renewable energy, innovation, and sustainability, and is a 1.5 graduate credit course from Reykjavik University. Now again, because it's a graduate credit course doesn't mean that you have to be a graduate student. We do accept undergrads, grads, and professionals for these programs. But essentially on the program, you will go over Iceland's specific sustainable development journey. You will also gain exclusive access into various facilities, including the geothermal power plant, which is actually world renowned for its carbon capturing. And then you will also meet the person who designed that facility as well. Iceland is a high adventure program in which you'll do a glacial hike. There's a 2-day hiking camping trip. You'll go into Geotown, which is a whole town that runs on geothermal energy, and so many more really amazing activities. So now I'm going to throw it to Carmen to talk a little bit more about the Capstone Project.
Yeah, so at the end of your program, you'll do a Capstone Project, basically using all the things that you learned throughout the 10 days and kind of figuring out an idea or a project that will improve the environment in some way. My capstone project was on methane-based cogeneration. So some other students and myself, after visiting the treatment plant in Cusco, we noticed that the methane from the combustor in the plant was just kind of being released into the air, which is of course very bad for the environment. So we wanted to kind of harness that methane into electricity and use that electricity to fuel the plant. So kind of creating a cycle where the plant is pushing out stuff and also getting stuff in return. So that was our idea, and it seems a little tough at first, but like I mentioned before, everybody who's at the program wants to be there, and they all are really excited about the environment. So that excitement kind of helps make the project a lot easier and get ideas flowing. And you'll also be with different types of people and different types of majors. So you'll get also a bunch of different perspectives to add to that idea process. So.
Thank you so much, Carmen. And if you guys would like to learn more about Carmen's Capstone Project, you can always feel free to reach out to her on LinkedIn as well. So I'm going to throw it back to you, Carmen, to talk a little bit more about the leadership development through adventure and culture.
Yeah, for the leadership and development through adventure and culture, I definitely liked how the green program had learning inside the classroom, but also outside of the classroom. So they did all of um, the field trips that I mentioned, and those field trips definitely made it a lot more interesting and have something more tangible, so that you know what why you're learning these things, and you can figure out how you can apply your learnings to the different places that you go. And I also really liked how they are bringing in people who are extremely knowledgeable. So the professor that was at the university that I went to in Peru, he like knew the answer to every question. So everybody like always had questions, and he always had an answer somehow. So that was really cool to see. And then while you're hiking up Machu Picchu and while you're hiking the Inca Trail, they have these tour guides who also know everything. They like give mini history lessons along the way. So you'll get to learn how these trails and how this ancient things came to be. So I love that part too.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carmen. And so now getting into a little bit more about the COVID protocol. So obviously all of the programs are wonderful, but what about COVID, right? So first and foremost, I'd like to say that the green program's top priority are our participants, you guys. So just wanted to let you know, obviously, we wouldn't allow anybody to travel if it wasn't safe to travel. And so with this, the green program monitors our program destination countries, our destination program countries and their COVID protocols, as well as our participants' home countries' protocols, and then also overall the CDC regulations. And that's how we determine whether or not it is safe to travel for any of the programs. I also wanted to mention that for the application process itself, it is non-binding and it does not expire. So we can work together to figure out which program session is going to work best for you and your situation. And you don't have to pay for the program until you are ready to actually enroll into the program. And then moving forward, so if your program is postponed, you do have the option to then switch into another program that I'll talk to you a little bit about in a second. You can also transfer into a later program, or you can receive a full credit for your program. If you have already enrolled into a program, we would then reach out to you directly to then give you your options of what exactly you can do and then help work with you to see what is best. So one of those options I mentioned would be the Learn Now, Travel Later option. And so for this, if your travel portion of your program is to be postponed, then you would take the class portion during your original scheduled travel dates. And then for this, for the Learn Now, Travel Later, it is working remotely at your own pace, and also with those one-on-one office hours with those amazing industry professionals. So with that, you'll have that ability to talk to them about the class, about their careers, about anything that you want during those one-on-one times. And then your travel portion will then be scheduled for a later date when it is safe to travel. Now for this option as well, as soon as you finish the class portion, you will then be immediately submitted into our alumni network and gain full benefits of the professional development platform. If this is something that you're interested in, we do have our Iceland program that had just switched to the Learn Now, Travel Later model, and the applications are open for this currently. Nextly, we have our online certificate course, which is a 2-week intensive online course taught by Professor Sagar from Kathmandu University on ethics of sustainable development. And so for this course, it's basically the topic is questioning what is ethically appropriate when it comes to sustainable development. And so after completing this course, you will then gain a certificate rather than credit, and also be immediately submitted into the alumni network and gain full benefits. For this course, we actually had the first course start last Monday, but we have 2 open courses for November and also for February. Another intriguing online course would be our Peru online course taught by Professor Oscar Ortega from the Universidad San Ignacio de Loyola. And this course is on indigenous knowledge of sustainability. So for this program, the course exposes participants to ancient indigenous contemporary sustainability initiatives. And so after you complete this course, you then also gain a certificate of completion and also full access into the alumni network. For this course, we're going to have our first program actually on November 2nd through the 18th. And then for this, as well as the Nepal course, for the first 10 people who sign up, you do get a discount. And then lastly, we have our online Iceland program. So this is just taking the Iceland Masters class online, similarly to the Learn on Travel Later, minus the Travel Later. So you'll gain that full benefit as well to be able to work remotely, to have to work at your own pace, and then also those one-on-one office hours with your industry professionals, your professors. Once you complete this program also, you then still have full access into the alumni network. And then for this program also, you would gain those 1.5 graduate credits as well. Now I'm going to throw it to Carmen to talk a little bit more about her impact.
For the impact that the green program kind of left was, I definitely came home with very motivated and had momentum to kind of figure out more into how I could relate my major to the environment, or doing something with my major to help the environment. I also really wanted to become more educated in being more environmentally friendly and how I can live a sustainable lifestyle. So that was another thing. And then also the people that I traveled with, really, I can we have a group WhatsApp chat, then we still kind of talk with each other and give each other advices and kind of like share vegan recipes. So you're definitely surrounded with a community with the same goal for the earth, and it just really helped me to think more outside the box in terms of what I can do with my major and with and also personally.
Yes. Thanks, Carmen. And so now we're just going to go into this next slide talking about 95% of TGP students experience a sustainability-related shift with an increase in awareness and consciousness of personal impact, personal exchange, and expertise in sustainability issues. So Carmen, can you talk to us a little bit more about a shift that you have experienced post-program?
Yes. So for me personally, I'm really passionate about building green buildings all over the world. So I really want to become a green builder. And so I kind of connected with different people and found that there's this LEED accreditation system specifically for green infrastructure. So that was kind of the shift I went through. I also came back from my program and used the Capstone Project that I mentioned earlier on methane-based cogeneration, and I explored it more with a faculty professor at Boise State to see if that was the route that I kind of wanted to take with the environmental aspect of it, so more like air quality and chemical processes. And I kind of just used it to experiment to see if that would be something I'd be interested in as well.
Very cool. Thanks, Carmen. And so nextly, getting into it, 4 out of 5 TGP alumni say that employers have asked about their TGP experience during a job interview. So Carmen, what experience have you had talking to employers about your program?
Yeah, so I'm definitely part of that statistic. I had an interview after my program, and they saw on my resume the Capstone Project and that it was in Cusco, Peru. And almost every single question after they saw that was based around that experience. So I definitely think employers are really interested in knowing if you have that world experience, and also the different projects that you work on, whether it's globally or not. So yeah, I definitely agree that it is something that they are interested in, and something very unique about yourself that you can bring out.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Carmen. Now throwing it back to you.
So for this quote, it says the Green Program alumni are strongly sustainability drivers in their career choices and are determined to have an impact in sustainable development as part or even by the nature of their occupation. So I can definitely agree with this. I think over the summer, the Green Program had a webinar series during Earth Week, and I really loved that. It was so informative, and they brought in people that they knew from like Nike, and they kind of talked about what their company is doing in terms of how they're handling different issues in terms of sustainability. So that was incredibly amazing to hear and watch. So that's just another benefit that I really like about the alumni network, is that webinar series. And then they also have other other kind of connections where they let the alumni know that they can take part of and learn more about sustainability in the workforce.
Thank you so much, Carmen. So who qualifies for the Green Program? So we work with undergrad students, graduate students, and professionals of all majors and backgrounds from all over the world. And so one of the best parts about the Green Program is that no matter your background, no matter your major, everybody seems to find exactly where their background and major fits specifically in these key nugget parts of sustainable development. And so we are now currently enrolling for the Iceland, Peru, Japan, and Nepal programs. Please check out the application page for a better idea of different ideas and seasons that you may be interested in. You will also see the online courses that I mentioned earlier there as well. So you can apply, or you can select and apply to all of the ones that you're interested in, and then you would actually be working with me directly. And we'll talk about which ones would work best for you based on, you know, your schedule and whatnot. So at this time, I want to thank you all for joining us this evening. Or this afternoon, sorry. We will do a Q&A and I'll answer all of your questions. If you do have to go, please feel free to reach out to me directly at courtney@thegreenprogram.com. I'll put it again in the chat so you can kind of grab it. You can also reach out to Carmen directly too if you want to hear a little bit more about her Capstone Project or about her experience in Peru. You can reach out to Carmen through her LinkedIn or also through her email as well. And so also too, I would like to mention that when you apply before Tuesday, October 13th at 5 p.m., your application will then gain priority status, in which you will, instead of waiting the 24 to 48 hours to hear back from us, you'll hear back within the same day, which is super cool. So at this time, I'm going to throw it to Carmen to talk a little bit more about her shared link.
Yeah, so I will hand out my link. If you reach out to me, also I can give you my link. And with that link, it'll give you some discount on the program that you choose, as well as helping me out. I'm really working towards going to Iceland. I think I want to travel again with the Green Program, so that'll help me out in that way. And yeah, feel free, as Courtney said, to reach out to me. I love my experience and I love talking about it, so I definitely will answer any questions you have, or find someone to answer your questions.
Yeah. So at this time, if you want to just put any questions that you have in the chat. Thanks, Carmen. Carmen just put her email address too in the chat as well for you guys. Yeah. If you guys don't have any questions, like I said, if something pops up a little bit later on, you can feel free to reach out to me or even to Carmen, and we'd be more than happy to help you out further. So thank you so much again for joining us, everyone, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.
Thank you.